a special atmosphere for one of the great occasions of any rugby league season. He's got the strength, he's got the speed, French, dazzling in this wonderful, most famous and historic of competitions.
Welcome to the draw for the Men's Betfred Challenge Cup Round 1. So Max, you're going to draw the home teams, Scott the away teams. So gentlemen, the draw please.
Number 18.
Number 18, Waterhead Warriors. Community Club of One, Kevin Sinfield.
Player number 12.
And they will play Leigh Miners Rangers. Wow, two real big hitters of the community game there.
So here we are then, the Challenge Cup first round comes to Waterhead, where they have a famous pedigree and they are taking on an equally well-known side from the community game in the shape of the Leigh Miners Rangers. So Waterhead Park is the setting. 7 days ago it was baked in snow. Now it's been cleared and we are ready and set for a game. Waterhead Warriors against Leigh Miners Rangers then, both sides from the National Conference League. Alongside me for this one, former England prop Danica Prim. Well, here we go. This is what it's all about, isn't it? The first round of the Cup, the real grassroots stages.
Welcome to 2025. It's the time of the year I've been waiting for, and what a way to start it off for the Challenge Cup, and what a clash this is going to be. Two teams that have met so many times before, and we know this is going to be a battle, don't we?
Yeah, battled for the NCO Division 1 title last year. You see the hits going in just between the lads themselves. It's going to be raucous, isn't it, this, I think?
Well, that's it. And the thing about Challenge Cup is anything can happen. So we can go on the league and what's happened previously. But honestly, I think Challenge Cup, as soon as you say that word, something special happens, and it means that absolutely anything can happen. You know, it looks cold, it looks misty over there. They have just got over, and been from over there, the frost has only just gone a few days ago. So it's going to be cold, it's going to be nippy. The boys will be raring to get going.
Well, let's hear from both camps then. Starting off with the Waterhead Warriors and their joint head coach, who's Joe Perks. Well, John, we've been waiting for this moment, haven't we? Obviously deferred by a week thanks to the weather, but it looks like your team and your kind of staff and everybody have got this game going, and the pitch looks like it's ready to go.
Yeah, there's been a lot of hard work behind the scenes. I mean, Monday, Tuesday, it was still coated in snow, so there's been a lot of hard work and, you know, behind the scenes, and people have got the pitch as it is today, so hopefully we're in for a good game.
And in terms of the excitement and the kind of sort of suspense that's been built around this, how much are you as a club looking forward to this, a chance to kind of put yourselves kind of in front of the cameras and showcase what you're all about this afternoon?
Yeah, it's fantastic, you know, for community clubs to, you know, be in front of the cameras. It's a great opportunity for us. We've got a very young team alongside some very experienced lads, so gives them the opportunity as a great benefit for the club as well. So hopefully have some good numbers up today.
Yeah, your players, obviously they've had their promotion last year. They've had a kind of pre-season to sort of build towards that, but also towards this. And you're finally getting that first hit out. What you were hoping for, what you anticipating? Yeah, well,
it's first hit out for both teams, so a little bit sort of, you know, we'll just wait and see what we get really. I'm sure timings will be a little bit out, and you know, we've had some good games with Leigh Miners over the last 12 months. Two really close games that could have gone either way. You know, we've went up with them last year to the Premier Division, so you know, it's two teams who are very evenly matched. So we're in for a really good game, I think.
And lots of young players within both sides, which, you know, bodes really well for, doesn't it, for the growth of the community game and how far it's, you know, coming along.
Yeah, I mean, myself and Keith, we took over 7 years ago, and it was always our intention to blood the youth coming through at this club, which we've always been renowned for. We've got 5 18-year-olds playing today who stepped up from last year's under 18. So, you know, that shows, you know, what the club's, you know, and the pathway that we've got here.
Best of luck for the game. Thanks for speaking to us, John.
Yeah, thank you very much. Cheers.
So didn't you get your bit of a moment in the spotlight this afternoon, because I understand Dave Rowland is unavailable today?
Yeah, I've been chucked in the deep end straight off. I'm currently the under-18s head coach at Leigh Miners. Dave is currently having an operation on his hernia this morning, so he is unavailable. So I've stepped in to help out today.
Well, hopefully he'll be well enough to watch it and maybe keep a bit of correspondence with you. But I guess the thing about the community game is all of you will have had a hand in all sorts of things throughout the club. So I'm sure plenty of these players that are going to be playing this afternoon you're very familiar with anyway.
Oh yeah, I'm familiar with the older end, and also today there's a couple of my under-18s who are going to be making the first team debuts, which I'm really looking forward to seeing. But yeah, preparations have gone well. The lads are up for it. They're ready for a great Challenge Cup challenge today.
You've had some good games with Waterhead Warriors over the last couple of years, and probably, you know, the run into the title last year probably sums up just how close you are as two opponents this afternoon.
Yeah, Waterhead are a fantastic team. I watched both games last year. Very close games. Could go either way today. I know Waterhead are strong favourites, but us lads fancy our chances, and we're going to come down here and give it a good go.
And I guess you already know what the reward would be if you do get through, and it's a pop at Featherstone, isn't it? How much of that has been a kind of carrot for your players? How much have they already been thinking about that potentially?
Well, that's the dream for every amateur player playing in the Challenge Cup, to play against a professional, semi-professional club, and don't come much bigger than Featherstone, who have been riding high in the Championship for the last few years, pushing for Super League. So it's a great goal to go for today for the boys.
And as well, just being in the Challenge Cup, having a bit of exposure like both yourselves and Waterhead have got this afternoon, a great chance to sort of show what the National Conference League is made of. You're really kind of putting that division, the kind of community game in the spotlight, aren't you?
Oh yeah, it's brilliant for amateur teams to get televised. It means an awful lot, not only to the players but the clubs as a whole as well. So both us at Leigh Miners and Waterhead love things like this. We're going to be showing all what we've got on telly and showing what the amateur game's about.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Thanks so much for your time, Dean, and go well in the old coach's box today.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks very much.
Of Leigh Miners Rangers. Before that, John Perks as well. Best wishes, of course, to Dave Rowland, the head coach of the Miners Rangers, who is having that operation today. Let's hope he's managed to catch up with this one. Right, let's have a look at the teams then for this. Big one for Waterhead. They've got plenty of players with a little bit of league experience in there. Phil Joy in particular, an experienced prop who was at Oldham in the halves. They've got Gareth Owen, and there's plenty of National Conference League quality. Jensen Hamilton at fullback promises plenty. And we'll have a look at the Leigh Miners Rangers side as well. Harry Darby is a big prop forward, a big middle who's playing in the halves this afternoon alongside the influential Johnny Youds, who's at 34, the elder statesman of this team. And at fullback, another really high quality player, Noah Lancelot. He was the top try scorer in Division 1 last season. He also could be a game breaker. So as we see the trophy on its plinth, we await the team. Stanica, this is where I reckon there'll be a few stomachs rumbling at this stage. They might have been fueling early doors for this one, and the nerves and the tension will be coming out.
Yeah, absolutely. There's nothing more exciting, more nerve-wracking than walking out of the tunnel, walking into, especially for Waterhead, to walk to your own pitch, to have the fans behind you, and to walk past that trophy, to have it there, you know, in all its glory. Is there a chance that any of these could ever get a sniff near it? But this is the chance to walk past it and really appreciate what's happening today in the Challenge Cup and the start of it.
Yeah, this is where it all begins then for these two teams. The final takes place later in the year, of course, at Wembley, where it is all pageantry and pomp and circumstance, but this in rather more low-key surroundings, but equally important to the sport of rugby league, is where the Challenge Cup, at least on the BBC, where we'll have a game from every round, at least throughout the campaign, starts here, and it's that walk up the hill as these players hit the turf.
Do you know, I think it's great that we can see the real grassroots of it, and this is Conference League, but this is where rugby league begins. The guys that play in the Super League now all started at clubs like this and grassroots clubs, and you know, the Challenge Cup gives the opportunity for all of these people to get involved, and I think that's what the beauty of this kind of coverage gives. It shows us Waterhead, Leigh Miners, two great Conference League teams, but also two teams heavily in the community, and Saturday mornings are back for this community, for Waterhead, for Leigh Miners, and it's a great way to start.
Definitely so. So the players waiting to get themselves out there onto the pitch. Plenty of hot drinks being imbibed by the fans. It is a chilly one, as it often is in Oldham. So referee Adam Williams leads the two teams past that famous trophy that they will be playing for at Wembley in June, but plenty of rugby league to be played before then, and these two sets of players from Leigh Miners Rangers, the visitors, and Waterhead on their home patch will get themselves into position after a huddle, and we will be underway. So a chance for Johnny Youds, I think, who will get us underway. So the first dibs of the ball will be with the Waterhead side on their home turf. And there's plenty of smiles. I mean, both coaches were saying, Danica, this is the first hit out, it's the first chance they've had of competitive action, and they've been really, they've been waiting for this, haven't they?
It's a long off season. I got a bit, goosebumps walking past the trophy then, and to remember playing at this level. It's like you've had a long off season. You've been in pre-season, you've been probably training through the snow and the frost that we had, and what a first hit out of the season to be at the Challenge Cup and to be live on the BBC. It's just incredible, and these guys are ready and raring to go. They've been waiting for this, and nobody loves pre-season, so at least that's kind of over for them at the minute.
So Adam Williams checks his watch, checks we are ready to go. Johnny Youds pumps it downfield, and the first crack, it's a loose one. Waterhead are going to have the bounce. And what a start from Leigh Miners Rangers. That kick-off spooked the home team, and they've got a prime position, Danica.
You couldn't have started any more perfect for Leigh Miners there, could they? Great clip, great chase. Just that little bit of pressure, probably ran too far forward. The comms for Waterhead wasn't too great, but for Leigh Miners there, what that start.
Sydney Roosters action there, one of the youngsters in the crowd. So they'll have a crack through Kieran Reid, who Leigh Miners Rangers scholars tell me is an old-fashioned, proper old-school prop. Up the jumper, yeah, exactly. Here they go through Derby. Youds, the pop pass was on.
0.
And unfortunately for Leigh Miners Rangers, Owen Hoyles couldn't take it in, but we saw some little bit of skill there.
Probably pushing the ball a little bit too much at this stage. Leigh have got excited, they've got in good field position. Probably wanted a couple of phases, like we said, up the jumper, just get the grounds, draw in your defence before we start throwing the ball. Warm up into the game. They've got great position, and I think you can sometimes maybe get a little bit too giddy. First game of the season, remember.
And these two teams have produced plenty of classy players on this paddock. The likes of Kevin Sinfield and Paul Schoolthorpe would have run around, and the Leigh Miners Rangers, they've got absolute quality has been through their ranks as well. Dennis Betts, who you obviously know well. Phil Joy with the cart up, and a little bit too exuberant there from Leigh Miners Rangers defensively, and what's a penalty here for Waterhead?
I mean, probably not a great start, but you can't fault them for the energy and the want to get off the line as quick as they possibly can. Just take control of that. Somebody slow it down on me. Let's go. But the enthusiasm's there, isn't it?
Don't
Brennan with a raking kick, and you can just see a little bit of the turf down there. And the ground staff and all those volunteers, because don't forget, at this level, it is volunteers who keep the game going.
Good work.
And they have done a great job with this surface, which was completely white out less than a week ago.
Square. Hold. Go.
So James Perks of the Perks family, just another example of how from through the generations,
out now, 13.
families prop up these clubs.
Well, at the same Waterhead, haven't they? John Perks and Keith Brennan, the coach, have really made this club. They've taken it from strength to strength, haven't they, off the field as well?
Yeah, certainly. Their involvement 7 years ago turned things around. A big lump forward that time from Callum Cameron.
Move now.
Here's another player who's had a little taste of the pro game. Perks darting. Oh, they might be in here. They are in. Great finish from Matt Holland, who at 33 is one of the older statesmen. but he has come up with the goods, and it's Waterhead who hit the front.
What a great, and that's exactly what Leigh Miners needed to do on the other side. Just simple phases, one-up rugby, tuck it underneath the jumper and just keep pushing forward, as you'll see here. Just get a nice quick play of the ball, just simple, tip it on, drive it forward. That's what you like to see from a forward pack in the winter. That's what I want to see more of today.
Yeah, it was, speaking to both coaches, they sort of alluded that, you know, it might be a game for the tough lads. You know, might not be quite so much opportunity for the likes of Jensen Hamilton and Noah Lancelot, but the forwards will relish it.
Yeah, it's going to be cold out there. It's going to be damp. We can see it's not, you know, it's not the summer rugby we know and love for rugby league. So yeah, the forward's going to step up, tuck it up, drive it forward, get good yardage, and then maybe when you've split the defence a little bit, that's when you can hand it to the backs to maybe let them have a little go if we fancy it. But yeah, this winter type of rugby is definitely a forwards game.
And so Keegan Brennan, who was the Open Edge Player of the Year within the Waterhead Club for his efforts in 2024. And he has a chance to pop this through and extend the lead for this famous club from Oldham. As I say, I've got plenty of very gold ribbon, blue ribboned alumni within their ranks, the likes of Sinfield, Schoolthorpe, as we mentioned, Josh Stewart a little more recently. But here's the setup again.
What a great, I just love that type of rugby. The Nines kind of skipped it out, he stepped a little bit, he's seen there's been a gap, he's brought the defence over with him, not sure what to do, and he just slides through, doesn't he? And that Harry Darby there, we've got to shout out, you know, he's got a big job, he's a prop forward, so I'm sure he can tackle, but to be stepping that position into the halves, apparently did it when he was a junior, but it's still a big ask at this level, isn't it?
Yeah, it's what you like to see, though, a little bit of craftsmanship and those, just a little show that, you know, the big lads have good hands.
As a prop forward, Matt, it's not something I'd like to try and do. But yeah, I was never that skillful, so credit to Harry. Yeah, he's obviously much more skillful than I am. I want to see him boot it now. That's what I need to see.
So Johnny Youds with the clearing kick from the restart. Oh, it's up for grabs.
Surrender!
And it was almost touched. Over on that far side by Joe Tyra, who's another player with a real pedigree in the game. His granddad played in the 70 Challenge Cup final, got his jaw broken by Keith Hepburn. It was one of the worst tackles you'll ever see. If you go and look on a very popular video site and type in 1970 Challenge Cup final, it was X-rated.
Ooh, vile.
Go for.
So Perk steps in. Swift movement to Joy.
They've just got really nice tip-ons here. They're staying nice and close together. They've got a good, you know, follow-up lead and support run play. Just really simple rugby at the minute, which is what you need in these conditions.
Clear.
Yeah, Brannan gets the kick out. Under pressure, good chase. Really good chase, Gareth Owen. The bounce didn't quite complement the efforts. And then, which way is this going? He's given turnover, isn't
Get closer.
Just bring them back up the field a little bit more where the infringement took place, knock-on took place.
Go.
And here comes
Surrender.
Reed again.
Start.
Reed, the
Go one.
bulldozing prop forward.
You've got young Jap Hammer there stepping in at 9. He's got big boots to fill. Lee Hudson retired last year, the captain and hooker for Leigh Miners, absolute stalwart of the team, and he's going to give Jack a few more minutes now that Lee's hang up his boots, I should say, and yeah, got to prove himself now.
Parks it was that time with the cart forward. Reed again, busy. He is like a bull, isn't he? Takes some stopping.
This is like proper old school. This is the type of stuff that Barry McDermott would love to watch. You know, the prop forward just tucking and going, taking a few with him.
Darby with a little chip over the top.
Oh, beautiful. Go on, Harry Darby.
Well, they did say, the coaching staff did say, in terms of kicking game and vocality, that's what he's going to bring, and well, that was an example.
That's it, a difficult little chip, it bobbled along the floor, they're always a nightmare to catch. But taking control and everything as well, he's really stepped up to that half roll. Honestly, I think he's my man of the match already.
He's loving it, isn't it? We see plenty of fans there, all ages, and those Waterhead hats most welcome this afternoon as Derby sets to feed the scrum.
Good work.
Whisked out the back now to Youds. Into the attack, Grimes.
Hold it, 14.
Leigh Miners Rangers maybe setting up for something. Turner on one edge, instead it'll be ripped forward by Parks, and they've got a set restart here. Leigh Miners Rangers. Into the traffic goes George Maloney. Tough as granite was the description I was given of this back rower. Loose forward. Oh, tipped on by Derby. Oh, it's been spilled.
Surrender.
Which way, referee? Adam Williams happy that went backwards, so they'll retain possession after the tackle on Lancelot. Maloney again with a raid.
Move by me.
Pitch holding up. There's a bit of mud about, of course. Youds making that one a test in the corner. Just overcooked it, Dan.
Yeah, just a little bit too much. So we're lucky there to get away with that. The ball that spilled, obviously deemed to have gone backwards. You know, just a simple pistol. That's the thing that's going to happen in these games. It's cold, it's going to be a little bit damp, and just you need to learn in the game really quickly how far you can just push that ball, and that kicked in just a little bit too much weight on it. Questionable whether they would have got it down, but you know, great idea at the end.
So this time, Mitchell Birch, who's the captain, 30 years old, 12th season with the club.
That's what I love about this level of club, you know, the loyalty, the commitment. It's a family thing. It's something that parents would have gone before, grandparents maybe, you know, would have played, and the lads that are playing out there, they've probably played as young lads and just carried through the ranks, and I love it about this level of rugby.
Yeah, not only the volunteers, as you say, and the players who, you know, some of these players probably could play at a higher level, but, you know, they enjoy being part of a community club. They're playing with their mates, and, they, you know, rather than risking it all and having to give up jobs and that kind of thing, they'll carry on playing. Lancelot will have to mop this one up, and he is pinned in goal. Good chase, really good chase from Harrison Dodd. He just didn't let Lancelot leave it. It gave him no opportunity to counter there.
That's the great pressure. You can see it from the edges there going down. You know he's got the pressure on. He can probably sense them on his back, and just trying to figure out what he's got to do. But you know, great option, and secured the ball. But yeah, what a chase from Waterhead.
So Leigh Miners Rangers down on the board, back behind their own sticks, but they have shown that they can be threatening too. And these two teams, as I say, they've had plenty of experience. They've given each other a whack over the last couple of years, and another kick-off causes problems for the home side. This time the dropout from Johnny Youds.
There's a few just simple errors occurring, isn't there? You know, it's the first game of the season, so it's likely to happen that just going to warm into the game. They've got to warm into the season. They've had a few weeks off. You know, training will never really replicate this game situation. The pressure of knockout as well. This knockout, that's it. You lose today, you're done.
Yep, nobody wants to fall at the first hurdle, do they? If this is to borrow a bit of a horse racing analogy, is rattled forward by Reed again.
And it's always more difficult as well when you know you're going to meet each other in the season. I think that kind of hangs over you a little bit. It's a little bit of a one-upmanship. It's a bit of an ego boost if you win today for the season going forward.
Yeah, Ben Turner, who is a very inquisitive fellow, I was told. He always asking questions, always wanting to improve. There's Reed again, who looks like he's the punch provider, isn't he? For this Leigh Miners Rangers side, already got plenty of muddy legs. As Derby looks for another chip and chase. Oh, he's got the will of the wisp about him. This time dealt with very well by Waterhead at the back. And we are seeing, aren't they, that these two teams, there's not a lot between them, and they're both competitive, and they're both giving it a good old slug.
Yeah, it's literally going, you know, head to head here, and it's just a swing of the pendulum of who's got the possession all the time. I think, you know, that's what's great about this. They're just tucking it up, they're going for it. You know, there's no breaking play, there's no pause. It's just really great rugby. You know, two sides that just want to get the win, get them to the next round, and just put on a good show.
Yeah, it's been in play. The ball has been in play, hasn't it? It's been really open so far.
Well, that's what it means. When you get to plays at this level, it's kind of like just get onto the play, get to the scrum, take the tap. There's no talking, messing around. These are clubs that have just they've got routines. Their plays are routines. Their scrums are routines. So, you know, they stick to what their plays are, and they probably have done for a couple of seasons. So they'll be well embedded.
Owen Hoyles a minute ago, taking that ball in. No room for Joe Tyra, who's for the Kean is at Oldham at the moment. And his cousin Kieran is at Whitehaven, so Again, another family with plenty of skin in the game, as they say. Lancelot, who we've been waiting to explode on this game. Likewise, Jensen Hamilton at the other end. Two fullbacks with some sparkle.
You do wonder if he gets a bit of space or a gap occurs, what we're going to see of him, because, you know, we've heard about the speed that he's got. If the tries he can score, is today the right conditions for him?
Yeah, saw Leigh Miners Rangers, it was last season in the Challenge Cup, as Harry Darby's got to deal with that knockdown, that charge down.
I think he's lucky there that he's got the flow of the field as well to have stopped that.
Yeah. Taken forward by Owen Hoyles, but not an awful lot of room for him. It's some really good line speed from both teams defensively. Oh, they went for the big play. Waterhead looking to punish it here. I think it's Keegan Brennan who was the slippery eel in possession, or is it Perks actually? I think.
Yeah, James Perks just there to react straight away to the spill.
So Perks looking at what the options are. There's plenty short. Joy looking to just rumble his way over. I think he might have been held up. But he's got some packing some punch, isn't he, Phil Joy?
He took hold of that ball. He took one look to the right. He said, "Nah, this is mine. I'm taking it." Look, gives a little bit of a look. Nope. See you later, lads. I'm going over. But well done to Waterhead, for Leigh, sorry, there for the defensive efforts.
Lovely little switch back. Trying to take it through with Lynch, but it's an obstruction call. It was Gareth Owens' drop-off. And you always run the risk, you often run the risk, don't you, sometimes with that drop-off play that somebody's kind of run the wrong line or maybe not quite got the lines right, and I think it's that timing you were talking about.
Yeah, it's millimetres. It's a great play when you get the right distance, the right gaps, the right timing, but it is just so minimal, you know, when you can get it wrong and just have that unfortunate obstruction. But great idea. Probably a little bit further out in the field, and probably when you don't want to be so close to each other, give it a little bit of width. That'll work really well.
So a chance to kick to touch from Johnny Yards. It'll be a tap and go from Jack Harmer, who, as you were saying before, has taken on the mantle of starting hooker, at least for the start of the season.
I know, today all could change after today, couldn't it? Depends how these guys play, and, you know, for Leigh, who's available, and injuries, you know, coming up from the off-season when people have had things and taken some time to rest and recuperate.
Well, one player I'm looking forward to seeing is Andy Philbin. He led out the Leigh Miners Rangers side. He's the brother of Joe, a Challenge Cup final scorer and winner with Warrington. As Turner went bumping forward at that time, stopped in his tracks by Mitchell Birch. Kieran Reid.
He's really put in the metres so far, hasn't he? Started off, he wants that ball, he wants to get in the action in every set.
Yeah, I don't think they have GPS at this level, but his would be humming. Johnny Yards, his kick, it's swirling about in that little bit of breeze, and it's a really good kick return in the end from Will Lynch. What an angle we get from here, it really is like, it's right down on the side of the pitch.
Yeah, you can see how he's got to adjust as well to get right underneath that ball to protect it, keep it safe.
So bumpers up here from the opposite winger, Harrison Dodd. Stepping into active half just for a moment there. Here come.
They're really speedy, you know, they're getting off the floor, they're playing the ball really quickly, you know, they're taking the tackle, completing it, and then getting up to play the ball. The speed of it is fantastic.
Yeah, Brennan with the clip over the top. Fielded back in his own end by Joe Tyra. Leigh Miners Rangers looking to break the cycle and get this ball down the Waterhead end of the field, and that's where they might be able to bring the likes of Lancelot in, who's just in possession at the moment.
It just looks like they're stuck in the mud down here a little bit, don't they? Just can't seem to get out. It's like, you know, they're just treading water, really.
And there is Philbin, and he wins his side a penalty to Andy Philbin, and he was England Community Lions international cap last autumn. Played against Western Australia and scored, and he's got some bulk about him as well, and I mean that in a positive way.
Yeah, he's going to break the line a little bit, isn't he? The Leigh Miners have brought him on. They're like, we need to get further up the field. Andy, on you go. Take us up the yardage.
Potential future community rugby league player. Plenty of clubs these days have huge kind of age groups, lists of age groups. Leigh Miners Rangers are apparently the biggest club in the country in terms of the amount of players who get over the line, different age groups, different genders. Lancelot keeps it moving.
I played there quite a few times when I played for Stanley in my community days, and what a club to go to. Just even for the women's, I remember even when the game wasn't that huge, the turnout of the fans and the players, the men's team, you know, the children that used to play and stay around was just phenomenal. And we're talking, you know, back in 2015, 2016, so it's always been a great community club.
Derby. Oh, a little bit of shift, and then Yards went for the ball out the back, and maybe the timing wasn't quite there again, but Lancelot kind of revives possession.
He kind of went the wrong way, did Lancelot. He went to the right when I think the play was going to the left. I think he was looking for that switch, but managed to recover the ball and react quick enough. Just a shame that they've lost that few metres in doing that.
Yeah, Philbin, this is the last one. It's Harmer who clips one over the top. Was he taken out there? Yes, says.
I think he was, yeah.
Adam Williams, and this is really costly penalty potentially for Waterhead, just because of, you know, you're on the last tackle.
Yeah, I know. And that's the thing now. Are Leigh Miners going to opt to play it, or are they going to go for the safe bet? You know, do they want to get this? You know, it's quite early in the game, isn't it? Only 19 minutes gone, really. They know what's to offer. I love it. Up the jumper, big boys. Up the jumper.
Matt Parks says, "Stop me if you can," and Phil Joy matched his request. Derby, he might be going himself here.
Oh, that was
nice drag on. Wasn't it? Great tackle that time between Niall Dean and one of his teammates. It might have been Harrison Dodd again, who put himself about. And replacement hooker O'Grady involved there with Joy. Yards delays the pass, it allows Waterhead to lock on. Still desperate to keep them out here. Great tackle around the legs from O'Grady. Still, they'll probe Derby. Oh, it's desperate. Brennan managed to flick one out there. They've kept it alive somehow. Lancelot to Yards. Pings the pass. Tries to tip it on. Gareth Owen put in a shot there. And the Waterhead players scrambling for each other.
Take a moment for that defensive effort from Waterhead there. Absolutely unreal. The whole way through. Great that Harry Darby managed to scoop that away, and Leigh kept that ball alive again, but the scramble defence from Waterhead was absolutely incredible for every single tackle. Leigh was struggling to break the line. They were trying to run plays that were already being read by Waterhead, so absolutely phenomenal effort. They've made the error, but they've definitely recovered from it in the best way possible.
Gareth Owen, who played more 200+ games in the professional ranks in Super League with Salford and then with Oldham as well, and Sheffield Eagles, but he's a Waterhead junior and back last few years, should I say, he's been back here. O'Grady. Oh, he's going it himself here. Jake O'Grady, he's got the bit between his teeth. Owen, Joy offering himself up for that first hit up or next hit up.
Look, just the contact is absolutely great. You know, they're really stopping one-on-one tackles. You've got the second body going in. You're winning the floor. Just the real gritty contact is amazing.
Quarter of the game gone plus, and it's been breathless. It's been brilliant. Classic.
It just doesn't seem to have been a break, does it? There's none of them have taken a break. They'd have just, even the penalties are just taking it. Oh, look at him.
Scooting away, really dazzling footwork at the back there from Brad Lewis, he's had to be quiet in this one. A lot of the play's gone down the opposite edge. Oh, and then an attempted pop goes awry, but a really good kick return there from Brad Lewis.
You know that in a hot summer's day with a firm field, that once he gets that ball, he's flying, isn't he?
And then just a little bit again, that timing. Maybe they run a little too early. But you know, these players, some of them haven't done too much on grass. There's been a lot of 3G, and it doesn't have chalk up your energy, doesn't it, playing on these kind of pitches?
Honestly, Matt, like it puts the dread in me now seeing the field like this. Maybe I've been a little bit spoilt when I came to my retirement years, but this is the real deal. This is the reality of rugby league and playing it so early on in the year. But you know what? They wouldn't change it. They're playing in a Challenge Cup at the minute, so regardless of the weather, the pitch, however it feels underfoot. There'll be some big studs going in there, won't there?
Yeah, they'll be all the better for their run out too, and those who are successful are going to be back in action pretty quickly, because the next round is coming up sharpish. Second round of the Challenge Cup. O'Grady waits. The decision maker on the back of that with Phil Joy. And Joy he gets as he uses Oldham, Waterhead should I say, into position. Former Oldham man, of course, representing that town with some distinction. Oh, what a line that is! Oh, that's brilliant! Callum Murphy! Oh, they've pulled him back.
Oh, that was
shot off the ball.
That was just a beautiful phase in play as well. Just little tip-ons every time, and there he was, just broke the line and
just lost it at the last, didn't he? I think. Yeah.
Gutted.
The next best thing is a penalty here.
It was late.
Oh, some words are being heard.
Don't need any more of it. Just a penalty.
The Jack Armour just being warned. It was late, and there was no histrionics, no complaint, nothing. And so actually, it looks like Keegan Brennan's going to take the two, and that just shows you how, since those earlier points, just one arm wrestle it's been.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said before, when Leigh Miners got the chance up the other end of the field, whether they did do that just to get some points on, but you know, it's a great contest. You know, like we keep saying, they've not taken a breath, they've not taken any time. As soon as there's a penalty, they're straight into the scrum on a tap. You know, this is the slowest the game's been really since then, and that's just him repositioning himself to take the kick. So, yeah, a little bit of breathing space for Waterhead to get these extra two if he can get them over. You know, and just a little bit more for Leigh to try and respond to.
Keegan Brennan taking his time. The old telescopic tee. He's a lead singer in a local band as well, so he's got that sort of rock star vibe about him, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's got an aura, hasn't he? Multi-talented. Do you think he leads the team song?
If he doesn't, he should be, unless, yeah. So Keegan Brennan, just a tip on scoreboard in a tight game, fine margins, and that is good. And so Waterhead head back to the middle.
Just a bit more pressure on for Leigh Miners, just to, you know, both teams have, you know, showing potential for. We've just seen the Waterhead take the spoils, really, haven't we? But Leigh Miners have got that, you know, can see them where they might break through. A couple of errors maybe haven't gone their way. But it's definitely, the game's definitely not over, is it, at all? It's still all to play for, you know, there's still a lot of this left. It's just, I think Leigh needs to be the next ones to respond, don't they?
Yeah, we just saw Phil Joy there on the bench for Waterhead, who he's put in a big shift so far. Johnny Howes in for Leigh Miners Rangers to get us back underway. On the back of points. It's always a test, Gareth Owen. A few of those kicks that have swung over to Leigh Miners Rangers left, Waterhead's right, have almost taken, they've almost been picked up, haven't they? You can see
them hovering, can't you, a little bit as well. But that just gives Leigh Miners a chance. Their kick chase has been brilliant, and even, you know, nearly half an hour into the game, they're still making it. And so I think that win might be helping just hold it out a little bit. A few milliseconds makes a difference.
Johnny Howes, it was like they had the crosshairs on Jake O'Grady there, and he just bang nailed him. So Harry Baker, who's an under-18s England Lions international, another prospect through the Waterhead ranks. Keegan Brennan, oh, that's brilliant! Lovely footwork, just couldn't find the final pass. They'll chase it to the line.
I think they might have been tackled off the ball as well at the top then after that, and that final pass. But what a little break he had there.
It was explosive, wasn't it? He just sat deep in the line after that sinker from Callum Cameron.
Yeah, that was just a little turn of the hips there by Owen Hoyles. He just turned in, thought the pass was going to go wide. It gave him chance just to read that straight away. You know, all it takes is a split second to get through. This is what we want to see, isn't these backs trying to find that gap, and a little bit more of it. Obviously, the forwards are setting the platform naturally, but yeah, that's the exciting part of the game, isn't it?
Hold, wait.
So there's decent support from both sides of the coin here. Lovely drop off into Lewis Grimes that time from Johnny Youds, who really is the brains trust, isn't he? Harry Darby's had his fingerprints on this game plenty as well for Leigh Miners Rangers, still yet to put themselves on the board. Yes, Molyneux it was with the hit up that time. Philbin.
Philbin just wants the ball. He looks like angry. He just wants to hit people, doesn't he?
Yeah.
It's been a long pre-season, boys. Give him the ball. Let me smash it through.
And he's been gang tackled every time, hasn't he? It's how we're going to hit you in numbers. You're not going to...
With a guy like that, you've got to go low. There's no stopping him if you go up high, is there?
No, there's not. Lucas Isles, I think it is this time, who leads the charge. Youds, has he got his radar in this time? It's a really good kick off, and the bounce was very kind there for...
Yeah. I'll come back to you, eh? That's, we got a little light relief there, and again, but just a great chase from Leigh Miners, straight up on him, giving him no space to move anywhere. Defensive efforts from both sides have just been incredible.
I think they've called that slightly over the horizontal, haven't they?
I wouldn't disagree.
Yeah, poor Adam Robinson. It's just placed on his head a little. I don't know if it's that always that legs tackle, isn't it? It's that last one, I think, from Leon Molyneux that just took him over the old perpendicular.
Yeah, just marginally, but enough. Safety first and all that, Matt. Safety first, right?
Indeed, indeed. So they'll tap it. O'Grady managed to get on the scrum line, says Owen. And they'll release Harry Baker again.
Some heavy contact on the floor as well after after the initial contract. A little bit of grubby work, I like it.
Gareth Owen with a little pop. Seeing if they can edge their way forward into a little further Leigh Miners Rangers territory. They're working their way into a decent spot. Lots of shape, particularly on the right. Taken forward by Dean. Baker again, busy.
Every time Waterhead have got into good ball area, they've got some shape, they've got something on. You can see what they've kind of got potential of throwing things around, and it's been working well for them.
Going out to Brennan, straightened up nicely. Oh, we saw Jensen Hamilton, should I say, that time. No route through. Good scramble. Good sliding defence from Leigh Miners Rangers. The hoisted kick. Oh, it's taken in the end at the back by Brad Lewis. And I thought for a second we were going to see another sprint away, but Jake O'Grady had him lined up.
Yeah, but well done, Adam Robinson was on the floor, but still managed to find an extra point to make that tackle as well, just to make sure he didn't get any further up the line.
And Leigh Miners Rangers have been pinged here. And it's a turnover.
Play the ball, 2 hackers in.
You're right, it was a little bit of Robinson, wasn't it? And then O'Grady came in and finished it off.
Yeah, but I'm not sure what's this one for now.
About 8.
So turnover ball. Waterhead are in a hot spot here. Owen wants it. Just works it onto Callum Cameron. This is a similar position to where they set up for the try earlier in this one. Dean was there. O'Grady goes out the back to Owen. Brennan, nice turn back against the grain. Running hard, seeking gaps. Stalled that time. Joy looks as though he's back on for Waterhead. Molyneux makes the tackle along with Harmer. O'Grady to Brennan, lurking at the back. Owen chiming in that time as Jensen Hamilton. Owen still has it. Now Brennan. They've switched the point. Nice footwork there, and they might be in with Marcus Keener. He's just short. Brennan, oh, he's cleaned out. I think that was a bit before the play of the ball and our first skirmish of the game. And it's taken just over half an hour, and to be fair, it resolved pretty quickly. But
he did shoot out though, didn't he? And I totally understand at this level, but just watch him after the tackle and the way that he just shoots in from the side. I don't think he was square there, do you?
Andy.
I think it was Jack Harmer again, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But the two captains being brought over, Gareth Owen and Andy Philbin.
Are you captain? We've got a penalty for offside. Jack has gone before
it's going to get a bit spicy. It's the first game of the season. There's going to be a lot of pent-up aggression and tension. You've been off the season. You've worked really hard for it. You've got ball in hand. You've got a good crowd. You're on the BBC. It's a big, But like you say, it dissolved really quickly. Like the boys have a little tussle, guys. Come on.
You've gone before. You was on the line, and you waited before you played it. It's definitely.
So I think O'Grady and Waterhead fancy this.
Go on.
They're going to have a right dig.
I know.
John's in there, and he does look at him. He's like bouncing off his toes.
Now Dean's up in support, but he's on the shoulder. He wasn't getting that, was he? That was a up the jumper. That was route one.
Gimme.
The freight train. Phil Joy, Dean Oyes, the decoy runner this time. Brennan buzzing. Floored that time by Ben Turner.
I tell you, Bernard's been everywhere. He's been catching these balls and he's been, reacting to little bits of spills. His reaction time has been really beneficial to Waterhead.
Release down, Jack.
Cameron takes Harmer again, keeping himself busy, keeping himself about. And it's a penalty this time against Waterhead, and then a cheeky little tap from Jack Harmer, who, well, I think that might be lodged in the memory banks of a few Waterhead players.
I tell you, I'd be lodging it too as well, and I'm the least aggressive person there is. Just, it's funny, it's a little bit of banter, but when aggression and the tension's a little bit high, it can sometimes result in a bad decision further down the game.
Here we are,
Callum Cameron will be disappointed with that because he's given his side a real point to play off. And we shall see what retribution might be dished out.
Yes, silly errors like that as for your team, you'll just be annoyed. But honestly, when the tensions are high, you genuinely, when somebody's picking in your head, you can't help but react sometimes.
Ouch. Wow, it's a really strong carry. Leigh Miners Rangers fancy this. They want themselves back in the game before half-time. Oh, and the timing just a little off. And we knew acquaintances. Those two sides. Mitchell Birch that time.
It seems that for every error there's a responsive error, doesn't it? It's like a yo-yo of errors, and need to capitalise off them rather than repeat.
There'll be a bit of fatigue biting in at this point of the half as well as Ben Turner and Niall Dean have a little bit of a rumble.
Yeah, the first game, honestly, that first game out after an off-season, it's like your lungs burn after about 15 minutes. No matter how much fitness you do, nothing replicates gameplay. And 35 minutes in, it's been fast, it's been full on, the contact's been incredible. There's been a bit of a tussle. Yeah, the next 5 minutes can't come quick enough.
Phil Joy. Well, he's got Callum Cameron off his shoulder, but another guy, he gets gang tackled. Him and Andy Penman, Philbin should have said, are practically been targeted. Oh, and then the play the ball scruffy.
That's fatigue 101. That is just not being able to pick your leg up properly, just have a little bit, but Phil Joy gets in there, I'd say 15 to 20 metres out from the white line, and he looks around, he pretends to his team that he's going to pass it, but there's not a chance from 15 out. He's doing anything, and yeah, that's just fatigue. Trying to play it too quick.
Fatigue, and I might have got caught in the old mud as well. It wasn't the nicest spot to play. And Leigh Miners Rangers get a bit of a reprieve, and Owen Hoyles, who came down from Henson to play for this side, laps a lot. I mean, as I say, both coaches did say in the build-up to this one to us that it wasn't going to be a game for us. It's proved that way, isn't it? Although we've seen little flashes, haven't we?
There's definitely moments, but I think by the second half,
move together.
As the boys keep churning up this turf, it's going to be a much slower game and much more of a forward pack dominant. The backs, we'll save it for the summer, Hans. Save it for the summer.
Philbin just proving a handful. He tied up 3 defenders there. Harmer picks up the back of that.
Never.
And there we go. Well, there's a bit of an injury in back play here. Adam Roberts he caught one around the sternum. He looks in a really bad way, doesn't he?
I'm not sure if it's around the sternum or a little bit lower than that, Matt, when he was holding.
Mark has got back.
looks like a shoe in between the legs.
A little more tender. Yeah, you can see actually as he walks away from that how painful it was. Not a lot of treatment for that either, to be fair.
Ice?
You have to, yeah. Just have to buy, you know.
Tissue for the tears?
The fans have come out today in the chilly conditions.
I tell you something, you can't beat rugby league fans. You know, we've mentioned it before, all ages, from everywhere.
All breeds as well.
Well, yeah, exactly that. Exactly that. You know, and you know, it's cliche. I love this sport, and you know, it's one for the family, but it, you know, it really is, isn't it? It's such a community sport. Love seeing it.
Go on.
So, pushing Matt Holland back out. Well, he's coming off, I think, Matt Holland, isn't he? I wonder where he was heading to. I thought he was switching positions. He's coming off.
Yeah.
And so he'll be trucked in by Will Lynch.
One. Move.
Great bit of leg push after that, the initial contact then.
Callum Cameron.
Help!
Absorbed.
Oh dear, 12. Go, good work.
Andy Philbin.
He's not letting anything past, is he?
Certainly not.
3. Move
It's like,
together.
if you're not going to let me pass,
5
not
minutes,
let you
17.
pass either, pal.
Hold.
Sit down.
Go,
John
3.
Spence gets his first touch of the ball. Joy thought about the pass.
He's in the 20, Matt. He's not going to pass it, I've told you.
Move now.
Once he's 20 metres out, there's no passing going on.
He's got good deception, put it that way. O'Grady to Owen. At the back for Brennan, just rolls it off the toe. Lancelot's got to deal with this. And he does, and he had his opposite number. Herring down on him in Jensen Hamilton, but that's a one up for, I was going to say one up for Leigh Miners Rangers, and then they're taken back behind their own line.
Honestly, the contact and the drive from Waterhead has been unreal. Both teams have had a great chase. You know, the support playing defence has been brilliant, but I think Waterhead, not only their scramble defence on their own line, you know, pushing up after a kick, it's like they can read each other's minds. Incredible defensive efforts.
So low on tries, relatively low on points, but certainly not low on entertainment this first half.
No, the energy, the contact is brilliant.
So Johnny Yards, he's taken his time, and there's no shot clocks at this level, which is nice. Everyone can have a bit of a breather. Johnny Yards looks to drill that one. They've had a bit of success, have Leigh Miners Rangers from that.
Yeah, their kicking game's been strong, you know. It's cold, it's a little bit windy out there, it's swirly, as we've seen with the higher balls, but their kick efforts have been brilliant.
Spence setting a point. Joy thunders forward.
He's been ever present, hasn't he, for a forward of his stature and size, the energy levels. He went off, he had a very small breather, didn't he? Can't really count it as one.
Yeah, O'Grady, I should say. Oh, and then
move now, 17. Go on.
O'Grady stands in acting half.
Go, 3.
On the back of that dart from Cameron, Owen holds the pass. Robinson, he's overcome his earlier issue, and he's been dragged into touch. Well, that's goal line D, isn't it? That's what you call goal line defence.
Absolutely, yeah, and that's the hard stuff that you train for in pre-season. Just look at the bodies getting in there for Leigh Miners. They don't know where they're going. You know, somebody's going to take the lead from inside that. They'll be doing the conversation, they'll be doing the chat, and then others are just going to get in there, get bodies in, get the weight behind it, and reap the rewards.
So that is half time, and the two sets of players can head for the sheds. They've got that hill to navigate with the studs.
Phil Joy looks made up. It's half time. Look at him.
Yeah, I mean, we were just saying, literally just before that final act of the half, is, you know, it's a really good advert for National Conference League rugby. Really good advert for rugby league.
Yeah, it's brilliant, and this is, you know, what you really want to see. Like, obviously Super League, you know, playing at Wembley, the, you know, hallowed turf that you want is amazing, but this is the real deal. This is rugby league at its finest. So two teams supported by their community, playing on a pitch that obviously by, I think, another 20 minutes and we're going to struggle to see numbers on back of shirts. But I just think it's classic rugby league, and it's just a great entertaining show.
Right, let's have a look at the highlights from that first half, and we might as well start with the first points.
Yeah, there's, you know, Waterhead started by playing really simple, just one pass on, you know, just tipping it on. He takes a step out of 9, pulls the defence with him, and look at he just breaks that gap. He sees the hole. See you later. I'm off through it, and what a start for Waterhead.
And we saw, as we were saying, little bits of sparkle throughout this game from the backs.
Yeah, when they've got the chance, and the break here was just, like I said, you know, a dry, soft, firm pitch. He wouldn't have stopped, but a great break, but great defensive effort from Waterhead.
And this wasn't far off being a little bit more, was it?
No, and Brennan has been ever present in this first half. He's set up loads, and just unfortunate that, well, fortunately for Leigh that they were covering them there, but not able to take the pass. And then a defensive effort, which we've seen loads of. Leigh Miners, bodies in there, let's get him out and let's get to the half.
So there we just see the half-time chats, and John Perks just listening to some of his players' thoughts in that first half. So the players taking on a welcome breather. They aren't navigating the hill by the looks of things. They're going to do their half-time chats out on the pitch, and that's a perfect chance for us to take a look at what this is all about. The end game is Wembley, of course, and the Challenge Cup final, and what a special occasion it can be.
Welcome to Wembley for the Men's Challenge Cup final between Warrington and Wigan. And in a week when Rob Burrow sadly died, this is the sports opportunity to celebrate him on the biggest stage, with two of the great teams going head-to-head for this famous old trophy.
Two heavyweights, and Wembley is a riot of colour and sound and noise.
For the 2024 Men's Challenge Cup final, this is Warrington against Wigan.
This is where you want to be. You play sport to play at these occasions, because, this could be a hell of a game.
No lack of intensity on the pitch.
I think they're going to sin bin him.
10 minutes in the bin.
Chris Kendall has made his call.
There's a high shot there as well, so he's going to do the same.
Right, there we go. Another sin binning. 2 inside 3 minutes. And then offside, I think they jumped the gun here. Josh Thewlis is about to have a crack at this one. First points go the way of the wire. It's in French's hands. Pokes the kick. Eckersley! What a way to mark a Challenge Cup final appearance. Try for Zach Eckersley. Only his second in Wigan colours. Smith onto French. Dazzling from Bevan French. And Wigan strike again. And it's the X factor of the man from Tinga. Williams floats one. Ashton, he's got the gas, but he's into touch. And that is Wigan to a T, isn't it, defensively? Smith, now field, waiting for the pass for Farrell. That's trademark Farrell. Liam Farrell, the Wigan captain, batters his way to the line and might just have scored. And now as captain, he's stepped up and done it again. Classy play. Drinkwater to Williams. Now they're exposing some gaps here. Miskey on the back pedal. Dufty. Now the Warrington fans have something to cheer. Best piece of play of the match from those in primrose and blue. Dufty. The ball goes to touch. And that is it. The 2024 Betfred Challenge Cup winners are Wigan, and they extend their record to 21 trophies in this wonderful, most famous and historic of competitions. And it is this Wigan team, with Matt Peate's minus touch, that are the 2024 Betfred Challenge Cup winners. The Wigan Warriors, a trophy-winning machine.
Welcome to Wembley for the Women's Betfred Challenge Cup final. It's just the second time that they've played on the same stage as the men under the famous Wembley Arch. And we have a rerun of last year's final. Can Leeds break the red wall, or will St Helens reign once again?
So we're underway for the 2024 Betfred Women's Challenge Cup final. Leeds go for the short kick-off, and Leeds regather possession.
Go for
Jones. Again, it's Gaskin. Takes it herself. Gaskin goes for the line, and it's Faye Gaskin who gets the first try of the 2024 Women's Challenge Cup final, and it puts St Helens ahead. St Helens still with that pressure, still with a few tackles in the bag. Harris, here we go with Hawk. And Hawk's in. She scored last year in the final. She scored this year in the semi-final. She scored again this afternoon. St Helens put daylight between the sides. 6 again for St Helens. This is a real opportunity now for Matty Smith's side. Gaskin along the line, finds Cunningham. There's players, there's numbers, there's space, there's a try. And St Helens look like they're in again. I think it's Lucy McCollum. Again, we see the referee wanting to check things out.
Rubber hand on as well, that's fine. She's allowed to do that, that's fine. Pause it there, thank you. I've now made my decision.
But it looks like it's the holders that are going to extend the lead. The try is given in the stadium. 14 points to 0. St Helens have the advantage. And it's Whitfield with the run, and looks like the seas were parting for her there. Shot ball, Crowell, and Shani Crowell is through. The Sets players celebrate.
Yeah, and it's a well-worked little try, isn't it? A lovely little drop-off ball there to Chantal Crowell.
The countdown starts. The hooter goes, and it's forwards on the trot for St Helens. A comprehensive win in the end against Leeds Rhinos for the 3rd consecutive year. They have beaten the same opponents. 22 points to 0, and the celebrations start from the St Helens players. And for the 4th consecutive time, the trophy is handed to St Helens. They've retained the Challenge Cup at Wembley. It was a 3-peat last year, and the Saints go marching on again in 2024.
And a great reminder there that the Challenge Cup final day is more than just the men's final. It is a whole experience, a whole weekend, and that's what they're all playing to be involved with here. However long shot they might be with the bookies, these two teams at the end of the day are playing. They have that trophy in their sights, and they're having a crack, aren't they?
Might be worth putting a quid on, Matt. You never know. You never say that. You remember that time, long ago, Halifax made semi-finals.
And here we go. Andy Philbin, he's threatened it all first half since coming on, and he's just crashed the line.
A prop forward should not be doing that, Andy. Like, where's Lancelot in this, But great break. What a great break. And he's made that. It's like, boys, get in for 2 sets now. Not a chance.
Kieran Reid trying to pick off the back of that. Too slow from Waterhead. And Leigh Miners Rangers are right back into it now. And they've got great position and tackles in the bank. That time, Molyneux was left in a bit of a pile. Kenyon.
Move, find me.
Plenty of...
Seems to come about firing, haven't they?
They have, absolutely. Kieran Reid.
Move off the line.
Shuttles forward. Desperation from Waterhead. Unbreached in that first half, but they've got an opportunity now. Yeah, it's all through a dummy. Spence read it, and then he almost commando rolled his way into the 10. Harmer. Oh, he's got Philbin on the shoulder. Philbin! That's what he has been threatening. And the talisman for Leigh Miners Rangers. He is the team leader, and he's come up trumps for his team. And Leigh Miners Rangers off the mark.
What a guy. He started off this far half with that great break. He's been pushing and pushing. That first half, he's been trying to break the line. He's been drawing in defenders. He managed to break the line, get a bit of a break, stepped back a little bit, didn't he? Got his breath, let the boys carry the ball forward, and then he was there when it mattered, just to crash over. And just the patience there of Hammer just to wait, shakes the ball forward, opens up the gap for him. Maybe just a little extra twirl there. He didn't need to. He could have just dropped over, couldn't he? But he was like, let's spice it up a little bit of pirouette before I go down.
Just getting the judges, extra scores from the judges.
It's a 10 from me.
Yeah.
It's a 10 from me.
Strictly Come Challenge Cup.
I like it.
And so, we've got a perfect view of where this kick might well be going. Almost like kicker's eye view, isn't it, that?
Yeah.
And it's nicely done from Lewis Grimes. And he's a creative centre. who needs to work on his legs. That's not my opinion. That's my spy in the camp told me that one.
That's not what you've been saying off camera.
Andy Philbin there.
Could
Brilliant.
be better. Yeah. Unlike Philbin's there, absolute, you know, powerhouses of legs there, trudging his way through.
Yeah, tree trunk stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah. Still a few yards to go. Now look at this view. Still got a few metres. It's not just a simple crash ball, that one, is it? And a little bit of work to do. Adds in a bit of flair, and really happy for Leigh to come out firing and to answer the second half like that.
Yeah, interestingly, we saw in the Challenge Cup video at half-time a couple of players who've been through the Waterhead ranks.
You know, I might not be a Leeds Rhinos player anymore, but seeing those replays still hurts a little bit, Matt, thanks.
Yeah, Josh Thewlis, in particular, part of the group. Zach Eckersley. And Joe Philbin, who is brother of Andy. Unfortunately, he was unable to play in that game as he was injured. Lovely tip on that from Derby. And chance here to get going through Liam Kenyon.
Great break. Great break. This is Leigh kind of coming into their own now, aren't they? Maybe it's this side of the pitch, Matt, but they seem a little bit spicy. Got a little twinkle toes going on now.
Well, I think they've got a set restart there as well. So that means that Kenyon can just set another platform, lay another yard. Oh, and a slip there from Molyneux. Managed to regain his footing.
Great recovery, that is. Great recovery. Great defence again. The Waterhead's defence is just outstanding.
Yeah, these two teams have thrown plenty, put the guard up. Oh, a looping pass wide, trying to release Grimes, but Gareth Owen was sharp to that.
You can definitely see the confidence coming back, can't you, now the game's warmed up. You know, throwing those balls a little bit further, the confidence to do so, and backing each other.
Well, this time it was Philbin as the dummy. Youds couldn't get the pass away or the hack away, and Brennan's gathered it, and Brennan looking to hit the turbo. Great desperation there from Leigh Miners Rangers. It's got real pulsating feel, hasn't it, end to end.
Yeah, I mean, I spoke too soon, didn't I, talking about how good the passes were, and that happens. But again, Brennan's there. He's there every time to react. You know, he's just there no matter what happens. He seems to be on the end of every spilled ball or every mistake, just to, you know, make the most of it. And what a great run he'd made up the pitch, and got Waterhead, back into good ball area. Let's hope this isn't too serious.
Well, the Leigh Miners Rangers staff. No Dave Rowland today. We hope he's watching on after his operation, which we all hope went well as well. Lewis Grimes just getting the requisite thumbs up here. They've got to go through all the protocols. It was looked like he might have took a boot to the head, but he's okay. Brennan,
the pause he gets, and he's like, nah, there's some space, guys, there's some space.
6-step rear, hold, go 2.
Up and running once again.
3, move together.
And it's Harry Baker.
Hold, go 3.
Philbin's really making himself present this game, whether it be an attack or defence. He seems to be involved in everything, and you know, it's such a hard job to make the tackle, get back 10, make the tackle again, you know, be involved in the next phase. It's real strenuous, you know, grinding out the energy there, but he seems to be doing it all the time.
Yeah, Phil Joy, last one for Waterhead. Dean moves it. Owen, now it's in the hands of the playmakers. Oh, lovely line! Oh, he's danced his way through! Mitchell Birch, but he's been called back. Well, it looked a little bit, maybe a bit too good to be true.
There was something going on. There was something in the midst of it there, but...
Yeah, Gareth Owen. I think it's the Anderson run. It comes.
Yeah, obstruction there, just unlucky. If he'd have carried on just going as well, but I think there was a Miners player in front of him. But yeah, if he'd have just kept on going, he would have been all right. But you know, the thing is, Leigh stopped because they knew it was an obstruction. But you know, that old classic play to the whistle, guys, like literally play to the whistle. But they seemed to stop, and luckily for them, they got it back.
Yeah, Adam Robinson just came back against the grain, didn't he? And
yeah.
Obstructed the defender. I think Mitchell Birch thought all his Christmases are gone. He skipped through that gap.
Yeah, because that looked too easy to be true, I tell you.
Yeah, it keeps it moving. Kieran Reid. Here's Halty. Good work from Baker that time. Juggle from Molyneux, and he kept hold of it, and that's the key thing for the side in black and gold.
The pace has just slowed down a little bit, haven't they? They've kind of, that moment of the second half starting to settle back into the flow of the game has just calmed down a little bit, which is best for both sides.
Derby throwing a bit of dummy out there before Philbin.
I bet this is the cleanest Derby's ever been in a long time, isn't he? His shirt looks brand new.
Harmer spotting a gap. Shot quickly. Desperate. Waterhead side, yeah, so this time he's again put the kick in the backfield, and again Will Lynch has been behind it.
Just a little bit of an easy kick, that wasn't it? It was a safe kick for Fields, but you know, a great one for Waterhead to take, so not too much pressure on that one.
I think it must be difficult for a half when you put a couple into touch, and even if it was at the opposite end of the ground, sometimes it can be difficult, I guess, to read it.
Yeah, well,
you know, the weight.
I couldn't tell you, I've never kicked a ball in my life. I feel if I did, I probably would have been dragged off by a shepherd's hook. But yeah, it's not just that in this level. You know, you're looking at the pitch, you know, where you're on the pitch, that there's nothing protecting you from the wind or the elements at all. So I wouldn't want to do it, that's for sure. And we talk a lot about it as if we've got the right to you know, question it, but it's not a job I'd want to take on.
No, I understand. Putting into a corner, it's a smart tactic. Brennan finds the ground. Lancelot has a long way to go. A little stumble from Owen. I thought he was going to give the gift up there, but in the end it actually helped him in making the tackle.
Yeah, a couple of times we've seen that. They'll slip on the grass and they've got closer.
Brad Lewis.
I think he was looking around, and there's a little bit of a tip on that one, but not seen by the referee.
Grimes, both sides finding some abrasive shoulders, it's fair to say. Harmer.
And it stings just that little bit more when it's cold as well. When you're cold and a little bit damp, you get hit, oh, it stings.
Hoyles takes it forward. Oh, it's another little clever dink outside of the boot. It's been hacked on. It might be a foot race here. Lovely football skills from Joe Tyra. But in the end, it was recovered.
So unlucky. But, I mean, say unlucky for Leigh Miners, but great coverage there from Waterhead.
Yeah, Jensen Hamilton. I think you got the steer that he's a workhorse, isn't he?
Yeah.
Somebody who always just graft all day for all his talents going forward.
Yeah, as I said, apparently he's just involved in everything that he does. He likes to get his body on the line.
Oh, Gareth Owen, just for a second, slipped the net, and then it's a little bit WWF there from Andy Philbin.
Yeah, Philbin says, no, pal, no, not past me. He was lucky to get away with that, was Philbin, to be fair. That was a grab of the collar and then a little bit of a tussle that might have looked like something of nothing, but definitely a little bit of energy in that one, wasn't there?
Yeah, at one point, I'm sure he had a bit of headlock. I thought he was going to DDT. He didn't.
Yeah, I mean, it's not I want to see it, but if it happens, I probably won't complain.
Imagine that at the grading. DDT. File drive, you know, it was, you know, swinging neck breaker or something.
Hey, look, that's another job I wouldn't want. Referee and somebody, you know, the people out there that make this game happen and go on, you know, what a tough, you know, job they've got. It's a thankless task, isn't it? But really grateful for them.
Derby looking for the wraparound. Oh, they were executing it brilliantly. Oh, and Hoyles got creamed.
Got that last pass away. That would have been a beautiful way in.
Oh, a little bit of concern for the calf there. Oh, might be a bit of cramp.
It could have been tight.
Tough old pitch. Credit to the ground staff that this is on. Molyneux has knocked on, says Adam Williams, and Waterhead survive.
That comes from that joint effort from Waterhead there. That they made the tackle, but not only did they make the tackle, they then pushed to get the extra yards backwards, you know, and they put the pressure. And there's nothing harder than that feeling of being tackled and being pushed backwards. There's a panic that comes across you, and do you want to get the ball away? Do you want to take the tackle? Do you want to lose yardage, meterage and stuff? So, yeah, but great pressure to lose the ball, and that's where Waterhead seems to come on their own. This defensive effort in there, you know, on their line in that 5 metres has been outstanding. And to only let Leigh in once is just a credit to how hard they've been working.
Somebody's been having their
what a great jumper as well.
Somebody's had the dinner.
Up the Rhinos.
Just the 2 points in it. What a cup tie. What a way to kick off on the BBC.
What a way to kick off 2025, Matt. You know, like just a great spectacle of real rugby league. And I know that sounds a bit weird, but you know, proper gritty, physical rugby league.
And just a little soup song of skill every now and then, just to keep us engaged.
But it's not quite the weather for, is it? You know, you can see the glimpses of what these teams are capable of. When the summer days come, when they see the balls flying across the field.
Yeah, even a bit of springtime wouldn't be too bad, would it? Callum Cameron, who's got a good motor on him.
I think I need probably an extra 10 degrees at least to get me back out there.
Now Dean is shrugged off the calf cramp. And back into the fray for Waterhead. Owen looks for range. Finds Lancelot. And the chase is good.
I never like to see players run across the pitch, but I'd like to have seen them just traverse across a little bit because the gap was open on his right-hand side. We might have seen a glimmer of him trying to break through, but safety first, I guess, hey?
A few boos for that offside call against Waterhead. Well, it wouldn't be the right. It was the same if the fans didn't have their set.
Oh, I know. I gotta love them. They really do add to the extra, the atmosphere, don't they? They're often that 14th man on the field.
You normally get a few quirky comments up it, and you're either, especially the wingers, they cop it, don't they?
Yeah, they're definitely in earshot. It's I don't miss getting that, I tell you that for sure. But it's definitely funny when you can hear it and you're not on the receiving end.
That Waterhead fan, a little pensive. He's seen Leigh Miners Rangers have worked their way back into it in the second half. Parks, full joy, takes his opposite number down.
It's been a great contest, hasn't it, between them two?
Yeah, some really good forward battles. Now, I like the way Waterhead have Niall Dean, who's the kind of more rangy, mobile front rower, and then they've just got pure ballast, haven't they? Pure bulk. Oh, what a shot that is on Owen Hoyles. He copped one. Absolutely copped one.
Great
hope he's all right.
Well, obviously we hope he's all right, but what a shot. A little bit of dicey little action.
Ball goes to ground.
This is now, you know, the first game of the season. It's been a long off-season, you know, and we're getting into the, you know, the final quarter nearly of this game, and we're going to see the fatigue step up a little bit, which we might see the errors. Oh, look at that shot again. He doesn't seem to move anywhere.
Yeah, that's a winger, isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
Harrison Dodd.
Go on, lad.
Now there we go. Well, this was always going to happen. It will happen at all rounds of the Challenge Cup.
Do you know what, boys? Come on. We're just doing a little bit of pushing and shoving here. Just trying to see who's the loudest or who's got the better banter. But Phil Joyce seems to be having a word there.
He's got a good expressive face, hasn't he, Phil Joy? You're what?
I like facial Tourette's as well. I like to see. You can definitely tell what he's thinking.
He's packed down. His head's about 10 foot further forward than anyone else. He's probably burrowing into
Give
it.
a little shove then as well. I like it, Union style.
Derby, who's trying to pull the strings, and the halfbacks have done a good job of that. Both sides in these testing conditions. Parks wrapped around the legs. That time by Callum Murphy, and he had to. Perks involved too. Yards. Oh, lovely line. Oh, ankle tap. Just about. Stop Ben Turner there in full flight.
I'd rather be smashed than ankle tapped. It's so annoying. Just give me a proper hit. Give me a proper hit, because they're the ones that, oh, yeah, frustrating.
Derby. Now Lancelot. Oh, Hoyles again. His ribs will be stinging.
He's just not be able to get that last pass away, is he?
Harmer's thrown up his bounce. It's like Shrove-Tide football, you know, those Derbyshire games on Pancake Day or whatever it is, and Shrove-Tide Tuesday or whatever. Brutal.
I can tell you're from near Midlands.
You can.
Talk a different language down here, don't you?
Yeah. The vowels are right, though.
Yeah.
Bit of cramp for Keegan Brennan.
I'm not surprised. He's been ever present, hasn't he? He's been all over this game in attack and defence, and you know, like I said before, fatigue will be setting in. It's not that they're unfit, it's just that game fitness. You just can't replicate it.
James Perks in the middle of that, trying to get his side forward. And here goes Callum Cameron, who really enjoyed his. I mean, like so many of the pack, it has been a case of they keep putting their hands up and they keep chugging away.
Well, especially in this getting out of the yardage ball, and you just want to simple one up, and then as soon as you get to a bit of good ball, that's when you see a little bit of spreading out, a bit of space, especially in these conditions.
Yeah, Gareth Owens stepping in, trying to quicken things up. Joy got it away to Dean, kept it moving to Jensen Hamilton.
I told you Joy passes when he's not in the 20 metres.
Keegan Brennan lifts it. Harrison Dodd is chasing. Oh, and he got spooked by that. Did Joe Tyra.
Again,
but it went backwards.
Great chase as well, that pressure on it. Not only is the ball swirling, but you can just sense somebody's coming at you when your eyes are upon the ball, trying to see where that's going. The impending doom of a smash.
Oh, it's a little bit feisty again, which I think might just be we're not quite up to the hour mark yet, but we're it's bubbling. It's continually bubbling.
Pressure's on, isn't it? It's tight. It's, you know, the game's very close. The energy's up there. The pressure of the occasion.
That was an interesting tackle, wasn't it, from Harrison? Mitchell Birch. Mitchell Birch, something out of
that was
judo,
wrestling,
wasn't it? That, yeah, wrestling, yeah.
WWE. Hey, look, he's got to be watching something in the off-season, hasn't he? He's picked up a few tricks of the trade.
Well, they always talk about the wrestle, don't they? I don't think that sort of thing's part of it, but yeah.
But it's not illegal, so where do you stand on it?
Well, the touch is on. Let's have a listen to the refs. Shoulder charge was the...
I think we missed the refs having a chat, but yeah, I didn't really see the shoulder charge, to be honest.
That's what was, yeah, that's what was given, so it's a crack on.
Do you think that's a case of figuring out what to give? I'm not quite sure, because it was definitely two in the tussle, wasn't there? It wasn't clear. Like I said, Matt, not a job I'd want anyway.
1 minute we had no balls, now we've got two. Hard Midlothian top there. All sorts of kits being donned.
That's a real sporting eye you've got there, is it, to notice that one?
Sado.
Hey, listen, I can spot on each one of those jerseys from a mile away. You've just got more of an eclectic mix than me.
Leigh Miners Rangers. Ooh, Phil Joy putting himself right about. And you wouldn't expect anything less.
No, he's not taken a back step at all, has he, the whole game? Been off for a few minutes and then come back in and just got himself stuck in the action.
Parks that time. Harmer finds Youds. Turn back into the traffic. Looking for some sort of route forward.
Go for.
Battered up by...
It's Phil Joy again, in the contact.
Lucas Ios, he went aiming for him, didn't he?
Yeah.
Lined him up.
Well, that's what we do on the prop forward, to try and find the tired ones.
That's a really good kick back in field. That time from Owen Hoyles, picked up at the back by Jensen Hamilton. He was swamped the minute he touched the ball. Really smart kick though, back, you know, avoiding the sideline.
Yeah.
Getting it right back in where there was a flood of players coming forward.
That's it, try and get back in the action, try and get somebody's hands on it. And it also puts Waterhead in the middle of the field, which means defensively, you know, you can go even sides and just restart the set. And it's a little bit of a breather, but not much.
Adam Robinson with the early carry.
Move out, hands out. 12.
Attempt to get them back upfield from Callum Murphy. Perks.
5.
James Perks, we are into the final quarter.
Such a quick play the ball, there wasn't really anybody there for it then, but great reaction then from Waterhead.
Keegan Brennan turning. Leigh Miners ranges around and saying to Owen Hoyles, bring that off your own line, we'll chase. And they hit hard, and Owen Hoyles who didn't do a bad job there. He was left, he was the last man, wasn't he? He really was.
But defensively, look how close they've got to the line. The kick chase there again. Waterhead have been outstanding defensively. They've let that one try slip through, but every kick chase, they've got 2-3 bodies there to make the tackle and to force back of a few bits of yardage just to get their team back on side again.
Yeah, they've gone laterally here, haven't they, Leigh Miners range? And that is just purely from the line speed, the aggression. Lancelot trying to crack them open.
Yeah,
tackle.
Yeah, 20 metres, and that's what they've made in this whole set. That speaks for itself, doesn't it?
Yeah, they're going to need Johnny Yards' right boot to be as full throttle as possible. Here comes Jensen Hamilton. Hits the deck. But that's a great place to kick things off here.
Yeah, what a place to start your set after that defensive effort.
Oh, the ball comes out.
So you're going to say, is that a rip?
He's given a penalty here for the strip. And then there was a little bit of afters, wasn't there? Very quickly snuffed out afters, to be fair.
Oh, no, it's not even afters, that, is it? That's, we contemplate having dessert, but then we put the menu down again.
16.
16 minutes left, so our clock's slightly behind the match clock.
Let me get set.
If that's what he was saying,
16.
Appeared to be what he was saying. So Phil Joy, they were waiting for him. There was, it was just almost, it was absorbing.
Go on.
It's that kind of time of the game. Dean onto Brennan. He gets it away to Holland. Scored early on. Get this Waterhead side up and running.
Go two.
Perks, really good onto that carry. And it was Baker who went surging forward that time. Perks close to the line, manages to get it out, bounces loose. And a knock on, and Phil Joy is going to have a crack, but he'll be pulled back.
Yeah,
put it down anyway.
Hey, listen, he's got to try to be. He can have it without the points there, but I like his style.
And they've got to be good mates to the sharing crisps.
Oh, well.
My bag of crisps.
I know.
Nobody.
I know, I've just tried, haven't I? Tried to get 2 sweets there. They chopped my hand off.
Greedy is what I'd say. But there we were. And there's Phil Joy again. He's just trying to dot that one down. So Derby feeds the scrum. Yards. What Waterhead, I think you already mentioned it, Danica. This is where Waterhead seem to be. They thrive upon it, this surface place on the field, and they trap you. Oh, they're saying that. And a swinging arm, a higher high shot, gives them the jump start.
Yeah, Phil Bid took that one, didn't he?
I mean, you've got to reach quite high to get anti-Phil, but aren't you? So
you've got to properly go for it. I call that one slightly intentional then.
Yeah, a little bit strained, and you could, I think the lip readers amongst you might have been able to decipher the frustration for Waterhead there. She didn't want to be on camera, did she, that lady?
No.
Counting down the seconds still on it.
Gets a nice warm brew.
Film it, enjoy. Two of the big boppers.
I have loved seeing these two go head to head and just to carry the team defensively in attack. They've just been absolutely outstanding as forwards. The minutes they've done as well is just brilliant.
Derby tackled by the busy Callum Murphy. Spun in field to George Maloney.
Find me, Phil. Hold.
There's ploughed a furrow like so many of these players. Derby just cutely dabbed in behind on this service. It could go anywhere, and Jensen Hamilton.
What a chase. Great tackle.
Just to retain it, but he was well and truly clobbered, wasn't he?
And the second effort there. Absolutely brilliant.
Both sides have certainly haven't slackened. And this one, Maloney says that ball came loose, and George Maloney celebrates that mistake.
Absolutely. Look at where they are on the field as well. The kick chase there, you know, love it that Derby's made the kick a little get. We've seen it go down so many times and just not quite make the edge of it. And then for the chase and the defensive efforts, and look at that. 3 in at once. You can see that, it's very loose from here, but
13.
Yeah, honestly, that's an effort for Leigh Miners' defensive work there, and what, chasing the ball down the field, and kind of maybe having all of their just desserts at the other side.
So fed by Derby, spun out to Yards. He turns it back against the grain, and somehow Lewis Grimes kept hold of that as his ribs were being tickled. Harmer works it on.
Oh, what a great shot that was, flying out there.
Absolutely no quarter asked or given from these two teams. It's drilled forward.
This is what I'd like to have seen a little bit earlier in the set. The first two plays of the set, just getting the forwards to get you a little bit closer to line before you start flowing this ball around.
Taken up by Derby. Again, they thought about the wraparound. It worked last time. This time Kenyon.
Move now.
Tried to catch Waterhead out, and they read the play.
Brennan again, just being there and being available.
5.
Now having a pop, trying to find a way through. Yards, short ball, looking for Philbin. Knock on.
Unlucky there. I definitely think Waterhead managed to squeeze in between the gap and stop that ball getting to Philbin for sure. Ah, see, yes. Maybe it could be a referee.
Yeah, it came off. It did come off Philbin first, I think. But, he's making some stringent appeal, isn't he?
Sometimes, thou dost protest too much, eh? But I thought it was the same way as a referee, so I'm going to let it be.
Well, what I've enjoyed is even if the players haven't agreed with Adam Williams this afternoon, they've let him be, haven't they? They've said their piece and cracked on. Here they come. Lancelot, has he got the footwork? Oh, he's so close to the line, but that is scramble.
He hesitated, he stopped. If he'd have just carried on going, I'm sure he would have been over the line there.
Harmer from dummy half. They came hunting. He had zero time.
We've seen Waterhead on this line. They're so tough to break, and it's this close.
This time Hoyles back to Yards, turned into the traffic again, seeking a route through.
If it had just looked up as well, the gap in between the posts was huge. The defensive efforts for Waterhead are all on Leigh's right side, and they went back to the right when they had the chance then to go left and find a gap.
Derby to Yards. Oh, again, I think he had to give himself up there.
He has done as well.
Because Turner ran right across the line. Gareth Owen stuck in the rook.
Was he stuck? Let's all look at this.
To Philbin.
This
Waterhead really muscling up, aren't they?
Oh, they're brilliant, honestly. They're not giving Leigh Miners any space at all.
Yeah, this time with a dink over the top, scooped up at the back by Will Lynch.
Hold.
Look at there, you can see him slow down and hesitate. If he'd have just kept on going, maybe bounce off. I say bounce off like I've ever done in my life, but as a fullback, I'm sure he's springier than I ever was.
You have to go back a long way to think when my knees would let me do anything like that. So we're into the final 10, and it is so close. 2 points in it. At the moment, Waterhead are heading through the club of Kevin Sinfield and Paul Sculthorpe. Will it be Leigh Miners Rangers, the Dennis Betts and Paul Rowley? Keegan Brennan again. It's just this game management. It's right down the throat of Hoyles. Good chase though from Harrison Dodd and co. I think Harrison Dodd has shown us this afternoon that he can hit. He's led a lot of the kick chase into that corner.
Yeah, and as an outside back and not being the weightiest of players generally, and not having much to do, he's definitely made up for it, hasn't he? That he's chased it up.
Go 3.
Harmer on to Kieran Reid.
4. Move. Keep coming, Phil. Hold. Go 4.
The contact still, isn't it? You've only got a few minutes left to go, but the contact is still as if it was in the first 5 minutes. It's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, if you're the coaches, you're thinking, this bodes really well. They've stood up to the test. The first game back on a quagmire of a pitch. Oh, and just for a second, has Jensen Harrison been deemed to have touched that? And he has. Oh, he got a hand on it, didn't didn't he?
You do know, Matt, that our history in the Challenge Cup always goes to extra time.
Yeah, we've
Every
had a
time we
few,
worked
haven't we?
together, that old faithful night in Hull KR, when it went to the, was it 98th, 99th minute?
Yeah, it was a long one, wasn't it? We had about, because it's the period, isn't it, of Golden Point, and then just kept trading.
I quite like it.
Long evening, that one.
It was long and it was cold. And it was high and breezy, if I remember rightly.
These two teams still separated by just the two, but Leigh Miners Rangers looking to maybe put themselves in the box seat. Oh, that ball hit Gareth Owen's arm and bounced down. So we'll be back in the gold and black.
Kind of looked at a little intentional pass then, didn't it, to his arm? Is that a tactical play by Leigh, or is it just a simple mistake?
Hold on, Eddie. You're all ready to go. Just complete it.
It's high up on the hill in Oldham, a Waterhead Park. This Challenge Cup tie still has chapters to be written.
No!
Derby that time had to go into survival mode to take that in. And now, from this penalty, he could almost order, I think you could probably hear the twos back home. So just an apology if you heard anything a little unsavoury through the referee's mic there. As Challenge Cup tie, tensions running high. Might have heard something that you maybe shouldn't for your Saturday lunchtime. So an apology there, and Leigh Miners Rangers from this penalty. And I get a chance to kick for goal. So as we were saying before, we have done games that go to Golden Point before, and this does give us maybe an opportunity to just explain where it goes. So in a regular Super League game, it would be 2 periods of 5 minutes added time at the back end of the 80, and then it would be called a draw. But obviously this is knockout rugby, so it would be indeterminate periods of Golden Point time until somebody wins. So you could have 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, like it did in Hull that night, where it goes on and on. We don't anticipate that. There's still chance for somebody to win it in normal point time, but it is essentially 5 minute periods of Golden Point time until a winner is found. So we could be in for the long run.
It excites me. It's proper Challenge Cup. It's proper Challenge Cup. We're back, baby. 2025 Challenge Cup with a tie. I'm going to say hopefully. I really want it to go because, you know, who this week leading up to this, or maybe the week before, because it's meant to be last weekend, has been practicing their drop goals the best.
Yeah, who's got the eye on target?
Because it's not the greatest surface for them either.
No. So Keegan Brennan bangs it downfield. Taken by Youds low. Kieran Reid dredging from the well of energy. Both these teams will be looking to the well. I was going to ask you around about this point, Danica, for your player of the match, but I might just see if we can squeeze a few extra minutes out, because I think there might still be heroes to be made.
Oh, wow. I tell you, there's a few heroes on that picture already. The forwards from both sides have just been outstanding. There's been glimmers, haven't there, from the backs that just the control in the game, and you know, the halves have been outstanding, just managing expectations, managing the pace, managing energies.
I think we're in no doubt who they support. Vocal contingent. And they'll be loving Kieran Reid's industry. And they'll be loving Jack Harmer's busyness a little bit. That looked like he was going to squirm from the fingers there. Lovely on Molyneux, but he kept hold of it. Turner. Ooh, was it caught high? The referee says no. Spence with the tackle. He appeals.
Questioning it. He's going to give it a go anyway. It's worthwhile, isn't it? You might as well just give it a try. But really?
Keep coming, middle.
Harmer Youds awaits and then just dinks a little kick in behind. They're going to try and make this a foot race. In the end, Will Lynch dives on the grenade.
But yet again, what a great place to turn it over, just meters out from the line.
And now Jensen Hamilton. I think that was a little bit of tiredness, a little bit of exuberance, and to be fair, him and Jack Harmer just shared a little tap in there, respectful tap.
And it's 8-all on the field, on the scoreboard, sorry. You know you've got moments left on this field. It gets to a point where, as a player, you don't ever intentionally try and do that, but it's at all costs. What can you do to stop the opposition? So we might see a little bit of that coming through.
It's instinct sometimes as well, isn't it? When it's like you're so desperate.
Yeah, you could just be lying on the floor and somebody passes you and you could grab them. It's just, you know, I mean, it's the dying moments of a knockout rugby. Some silly mistakes we made as well through it as well. That's the problem. And you know afterwards you'll regret it, but in that heat of the moment, you do what you need to do.
So Spence, tackle. Perks keeps it moving. Cameron's turn to chug it forward. Now Niall Dean. Leigh Miners Rangers players like missiles, just spraying forward. Owen. Round the back it went. Well read by.
They just look like they've got another spurt of energy, you know, and another spurt of energy that they've kind of realised that it's the last minutes and first one to score is going to go through, isn't it?
So they've changed the Challenge Cup golden point time for this season. It's 10 minutes and then periods of 5. Keegan Brennan, was he taken late there? Lancelot and Tyra have to combine to get that one. And then a late shot on Tyra and a high shot on Tyra produces the penalty.
I'm not a Waterhead fan, I'm not a Leigh Miners fan, but you can just feel the tension, the pressure, can't you? You can just sense that with every moment that it's going on, it's squeaky bum time, maybe.
Yeah, very much so, isn't it? You can sit on the edge of your seat stuff. Plenty of fans amassed around the field at Waterhead Park this afternoon. They have braved the conditions. A little bit of a wink there. And just waiting for him to come back on, aren't they, the big man?
So
1 minute.
This is a little bit of fatigue, isn't it? This is where you take your moments.
Yeah, so Joe Tyra,
1 minute.
I'm not sure what he found most painful, the whack around the head or his cramp.
I'm going to go for cramp for sure.
He's limping his way through the next minute and a bit, isn't he?
He's coming off.
He'll have to come off, yeah.
I tell you, whatever he's done there, at this point in the game, when you know it's so, so close, the last thing you want to do is come off. So I'm not saying that rugby league players have made a tougher stuff than other athletes, but I'm saying it would have taken a lot for him to just say, yes, I need
genuinely, that doesn't look good, does it, for Joe Tyra? And I really hope he's all right. I don't know if it's a really severe cramp or what, but he's having to drag himself about.
He's been outstanding as well.
So yeah, it's one last dig in normal time before we head to the 10 minutes of golden point. And then after that, 5-minute periods until we find a winner.
I didn't stop it.
So it'll be Howard to tap. The yards was the cry from the bench. Kieran Reid trying his very best, but when he gets whacked like that, it's understandable why he maybe didn't get them all. Parks, but this is brilliant from Leigh Miners Rangers here. They are making meters. Those big boppers carrying the charge. Yards turns it back with Turner.
That's what I've been saying, just get it up the jumper, get the yards in, get yourself some good, a good ball area, then start playing with it.
Yards to Reid. Palmer's there. We've got to be in the last knockings of normal time. Taken up by Parks again. Is someone going to drop one? Is someone going to try and take this in normal time? It will go back to Yards. He sidesteps. He goes for the little dink. And in the end, it's mocked up.
I just don't. I think the drop was on there, but I just think that Leigh didn't get high enough up and he didn't get deep enough, and Waterhead was just on, so he definitely looked to go, didn't he?
So that is normal time complete, and we are going to golden point. And this game isn't over yet.
Oh, do you know what? I'm so glad that rugby league's back. But I'm even, more made up that it's Challenge Cup. Challenge Cup rugby is the best there is.
So let's have a look at those points. The points that were scored in this game to take it.
Yeah.
Early on, Matt Holland.
Yeah, straight in, wasn't it? That was an early play. He just picks it, takes a few of the defenders with him. Beautiful little gap there for Waterhead to squeeze through. Harry Darby probably not in it, slightly out of his position, and then again Leigh Miners with Philbin doing his little pirouette twirl to get over. He was waiting so long, wasn't he, for this game to break that line, and he's off the nuddy early in the season. It's not like props to get that, so he'll be doubly pleased. You know, get the try in the season and you're safe.
Yeah, Andy Philbin. I mean, you have to say that Waterhead did a good job of stopping him from doing that again, because you know that he made a few really telling breaks, and that one was the key. So the Leigh Miners Rangers players just going through their bit line with the two captains here.
Yeah, we keep playing up to those points. If it's a try, we're not conversion. Got the ball on. And it's heads or tails. It is tails, Andy. Kick or which end? Kick. Which end you want? Right, you're kicking off that way.
Right, so you can see the tactics in that, can't you? You see teams do this, they'll try and grind you down off the restart, and then when they get the ball back, pop it, go.
Straight into it. Well, that's good, you know, in theory, that's exactly what they want to do. They've had some real success, haven't they, Leigh Miners, in this second half, and they will kind of want to keep that momentum going. Waterhead seemed to be the dominant side in the first half. Defensively, they've been unreal, but I think Leigh have just got the you know, the momentum flowing towards the second half, and especially that last phase, we saw that they were pushing forward.
So with the 5-minute periods, starting with 5 minutes each way, and if they can't decide it in the 10, then it will just keep going. 5-minute periods. So Adam Williams ready to blow on the whistle. We're back underway. Golden point time in the Challenge Cup first round. These two sides couldn't be split within 80 minutes, so they will have to do their very best to come up with the goods here in this golden point time, and it's any kind of point. Penalty goal, drop goal, try.
And I tell you, the first game of the season, that first 20 minutes is tough. Never mind 40, 60, 80. Now we're going on to 90 minutes. They're really testing that pre-season fitness out, aren't they?
Yeah, a little bit of limping in back play from Will Lynch, and Harrison Dodd was having a little limp for a moment. So Waterhead on the back of the restart have guided their way upfield. It's Callum Cameron, tackled by Kieran Reid. Perks that time. Dean with a scout.
Play just seems a little bit safer, doesn't it? A little bit slower. One-up rugby, which is, you know, just gathering the way up there in great field position now.
Perks is looking back. Perks was looking back. Dean with the slow play them all. Can they give a corner for King and Brennan? No, they can't. They can't drop it from here, surely. Jensen, Hamilton, dinks one. The race is on. Who got there first? They are. Oh, they were convinced, Waterhead.
Wow.
I think Brad Lewis was deemed to have just got a hand to it.
Oh, I don't know about that one. You know, we've not got the other angles. We'll just go with what the ref says. Ooh.
So a bit of drama in Golden Point.
Love it.
Waterhead felt they were fingertips away from the second round. Still we go. Here goes Philbin. Wrapped around the legs smartly that time by Gina, who thought he'd scored a moment ago. Kieran Reid.
We saw Philbin with his coat on when he did that coin toss. Do you reckon he told the coaches he was taking it off?
I'm on. Yeah. He's on the rampage.
I wouldn't mess with him, would you? You wouldn't argue.
Philbin wriggling like a fish, like a big salmon.
Oh.
Darby lost his footing. Darby to drop one! Oh. And it's no good!
Oh,
no! He can't believe it.
Oh.
Then Adam Williams, sorry, says no.
What?
Oh, he thought he'd done it. Harry Darby, exasperated.
He slipped, didn't he? He slipped. I thought that was it. I thought he was going to have to carry on with the next phase of play. He went for it. We didn't get the angle. He certainly thought he had it over. Leigh Miners certainly thought he had it over. Woo.
So, tap and go from the 20.
What a way to start. What a way to start the season.
Who wants this? Niall Dean with the hit up for Waterhead. Gareth Owen is peeled away to the right. I wonder if they're lining something up here. You can see the emotion on the bench just before.
Oh, they all thought it was up. Do you know what's worse is when you celebrate like that, the walk back to the dugout.
Oh, here they go, Perks. Perks pops one off. Running towards the line, desperate from Mitchell Birch.
Wow.
Super tackle. Still the threat lurks. Boomed wide to finish in the corner. Another desperate effort. Stunning work defensively. Waterhead, Brennan. One more kick, they'll go with Baker.
Who's going to be the hero? Who is going to be the hero?
Brennan flings it, desperation. Owen with the kick. They're going to chase it. Bounces loose to Robinson. Throws it back. And they're in. Waterhead with Marcus Gainer have won it in golden point time. What a seesawing, dramatic cup tie that Marcus Gainer has dived on the ball. And John Perks celebrates because he and Keith Brennan, who took this club on an adventure, 3 promotions in a row, they squeezed past Leigh Miners Rangers in Division 1 last year to take the title. And they squeezed past them in the Challenge Cup to make it to round 2. But credit to both teams, Danica Prim.
I am speechless. I think I held my breath for that last minute of phase of play, you know, when Keegan Brennan threw that loopy pass. I thought it was kind of, I just thought he'd thrown it away. It was the 5th tackle. He'd thrown it, they got the chip away, managed to gather the ball again. Again, another little bit of an overhead basketball pass to catch, and the whole of Leigh Miners' defensive, you know, were all on the right-hand side. They were trying to scramble across, and to be fair, the ball got put down and it was marginally over the line, wasn't it? It was literally just on the whitewash. This game could have gone both ways. Both teams deserving in it, but I think Waterhead just had that little edge, and what a way to finish.
As we see these moments, your player of the match as well, Danica. I know it's a tough one to choose from, but
there's so many.
Candidates.
There's so many, but it's that man you can see on the screen then, that number 7, I think, for me. Keegan Brennan, he was just so ever-present this game, defensively in attack, responsive to everything that went on. This, you know, this loopy pass I thought kind of wasn't going to make it. They slid through, but he was just, again, there for his team. He was pushing them out. He's like, no, I'm in there. And this is the pass that I thought for him. Probably didn't show off his skill throughout the whole of the game. Oh, not that one, sorry. It wasn't too great, but he's been absolutely outstanding the whole way through, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, they really made Leigh Miners Rangers work.
That's
I mean, this pass here to Owen.
The one.
It's and then Gareth Owen, all that experience, 200+ games as a pro. And Adam Robinson, I thought he was going to finish
Basketball pass over, nearly fumbled it, and just got it over that line.
And cue the spark of celebrations from those in Waterhead colours.
Oh wow, what an end. You know, I'm absolutely gutted for Leigh Miners. You know, they fought tooth and nail to bring that game back in that second half, but look at the reaction. Look at Phil Joy, another one who could have been up for player of the match. Just, it is a prop forward, but I thought it was absolutely outstanding. The minutes he did, the carries he did, the defensive efforts that he did. But I just think, you know, in these conditions and the intensity of the game, Keegan Brennan just managed that team really well, and he was just the half that was present throughout the whole of the game, wasn't he?
Yeah, and he gets a shake of the hand from his joint coach, John Perks. He's got his medal, as Keegan Brennan, and as some of his teammates make their way back to the shed. It's a nice photo opportunity for those lads who've been a big part of things here this afternoon for Waterhead.
What a way to start the season, and what an absolute start to the Challenge Cup run. What a great round 1, and just makes me so excited to see what's left to come. Round 1, round 2, round 3, some spicy contests as well.
Yeah, Featherstone Rovers next up then for Waterhead in round 2, and this is the great bit, isn't it? I know you see this guards of honour for both teams as they make their way off the field, and I love the fact it's then immediately reciprocated.
Yeah, this is proper community, old school rugby. You know, this is done throughout the juniors, the women's, you know, the men's, under 18s. It's just a really classic old school sign of respect, and I think, you know, you'll see it every community club you go to.
So let's have a look at that, the draw then, and you know, we now know that it's Waterhead who will take on Featherstone Rovers, and then clearly after that, if they get past Featherstone, and it's a big ask because, you know, a very well-run club, prestigious club within that championship ranks. I mean, then it's another. There's lots of community representation in this draw.
Yeah, this is why I love the Challenge Cup, because you see clubs from all over the place, both in the men's and the women's, you know, having the opportunity to play against sides, you know, 1 or 2 leagues above, which, you know, you think that might then deem a result that you can predict, but we've seen Halifax face St Helens in a semi-final only, I think it was 2018, 2019, I think it was. You know, so it can be done. Challenge Cup brings about crazy things, and this is what I love about it. You're going to see some teams, you know, I was at the draw on Tuesday, and Cruz Lehman wanted to face his old team, Siddle, just to see how they'd go, and, you know, and thank his community club for everything they've done for him. So this is the type of beauty, is it, you know, Super League teams or these championship teams get to go back to their roots.
Yeah, absolutely. No Super League clubs lying waiting potentially. I mean, if you're West Warriors or British Army or RAF, you're thinking Leeds Rhinos, giants of the game. There's the potential that, you know, West Bowling or Cutside Raiders and against the Wigan. I mean, Midlands Hurricanes settle against Salford. You know, there's some absolutely golden opportunities for some of these teams to. I mean, there's going to be a community team playing against Leeds Rhinos. So that's the 3rd round draw. That ties to be played on the 8th and 9th. We've still got the 2nd round to come, obviously, of the Challenge Cup as well. So plenty for us to pick through, which I'm sure we will do over the next rounds. But first, before that, we'll have a word from the player of the match at the end of an utterly compelling and thoroughly dramatic cup tie. He's got the fans and some of his teammates in the background as well. But our congratulations have to go to Keegan Brennan. Keegan, what a performance this afternoon from you as a team, from you individually. You seem to be absolutely everywhere. How gassed are you at the moment?
Oh, well, thank you very much. Yeah, just really good to get the win. Tough, there were always tough games against Miners. We had a couple of them last year. Went down to the wire like they always do, and yeah, thankfully we got the win.
When that drop goal attack was made by, I think it was Harry Darby for them, what went through your mind at that point? Was there a little bit of a, oh no?
Oh God, I thought it was over, yeah. Yeah, just crazy, really crazy.
Yeah, what about the opposite moment then? Other end of the field, that ball goes up from Gareth Owen and you're thinking, this could be on here, and then suddenly, yeah, what was that moment where you finally knew that you'd done it? What was that like?
Kicked it out touchline, Gaz, yeah. Yeah, Gaz's kick is never normally that good, so I was a bit worried when he put it in, but yeah. Yeah, really good, and young boys on the end of it. Yeah, got us the win, so yeah.
Yeah,
really
obviously.
good.
Featherstone Rovers lying wait in the next round. How excited are you about that prospect? You're going to get to, I mean, people have played, I know there's lads in your team. It's going to be great, isn't it?
Yeah, really good, mate. Just really good to get a chance to play with the next level up with players. Yeah, and I can't be doing it with a better bunch of people, so.
And you're a lead singer, aren't you, in a band? So you're going to give them a little plug?
Yeah, I might do some changing rooms.
Good idea, mate. You've got to lead the team song after that. It's a terrific performance, and you know, one that I guess that this moment will live long in your career, won't it?
Oh yeah, definitely so. Yeah. Yeah, it's just really good, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not really good at things like this.
That's all right, mate. Just one quick one. I think we've got a banner next to us here, haven't we? For Roy Jewett, who's a former player, back in living down in Australia now, isn't he? In Young in New South Wales. Just have a word on him and you know what you know the club have done to try and help him.
Yeah, he's a top bloke. Defines what it means to be a Waterhead warrior. So he's doing it tough at the minute, but everyone here is behind him, and yeah, we're loving to bits. So yeah,
excellent.
Get well soon, right?
Fantastic. Thanks so much for that, Keegan. And yeah, we'll echo those sentiments as well. Get
Cheers.
well soon to Roy Jewett. So thanks so much for speaking to us, Keegan. That's really appreciated.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
So let's have a look at the Women's Challenge Cup. And Danica, you've trod that path.
Yeah, it's, you know, so there's the championship clubs and the rest of the Super League are all put into groups, and then the 4 top teams were seeded into groups individually. See St Helens, York Valkyrie, Leeds Rhinos and Wigan Warriors are all the 3rd team in each of those groups, which means, again, you know, we'll take a look at Group 3, Leeds Rhinos, my old club. I'll get to play Leigh Leopards and Sheffield Eagles. Leigh have just been promoted into Super League this year, so they've got a big test. And Sheffield Eagles, led by Andrew Dobson, soon to be MBE, an absolute stalwart of the women's game. But loads of spicy potential games there. Warrington versus Cardiff. Cardiff just missed out on potentially trying to get through. Got York in the couple of quarterfinals. You know, and Wigan Warriors. Wigan Warriors on the rise. Dennis Betts came in last season. I'm expecting big things. I'm not saying they might get the trophy. I'm always going to back my Leeds girls, but I'd say they're the definite ones to watch this season.
Absolutely, we'll keep an eye on that across the campaign on the BBC, of course, finishing with that final at Wembley in June. We're lucky enough to be joined by the victorious head coach, the joint head coach of the Waterhead Warriors, in the shape of John Perks. And John, they made you wait for it, didn't they? But I'm sure it was all worth it.
Yeah, fantastic finish, weren't it? Well, fantastic game, like we said before. It was going to be always tight between the 2 teams, and to be fair, I thought they were the better team. Second half, I thought they had so much enthusiasm, and I think it was just our just sort of will and, you know, just turning up for each other time after time defensively. Just sort of they showed a lot of character, which, you know, you do a long pre-season like they've done. It's that character's really shone today. So to get the win like we did in the way that we did, it's obviously great for the TV cameras, and not so good for me and Keith. So, but yeah, delighted to sort of be in that and being able to have a go at Featherstone. So yeah, we're really happy.
You had heroes across the park, didn't you? Whether it was Phil Joy and Niall Dean kind of carrying the kind of forward pack, and Harry Baker off the bench, and then you had, you know, Jensen Hamilton and Harrison Dodd putting their bodies on the line. You had the brains trust of Gareth Owen. It was probably difficult to pick, you know, standout players, but you know we ended up choosing Keegan Brenner, but it could have been anybody.
Yeah, I thought sort of. Keegan controlled the game really well. Obviously, his kicking game is top notch, and in conditions like this where it's really heavy, he can put teams into the corners, and which I thought they did really well. To be fair, I thought they sort of tied us up second half. It's quite sort of heavy down at that bottom end, and they tied us up quite well in that bottom end. So, but yeah, Keegan sort of controlled it. You know, it was a really tight game, and like I said, could have gone either way, and we're just happy to be in there for the next round. So yeah, really chuffed.
Yeah, that game against Featherstone, that'll be at Waterhead Park again, won't it?
Well, yeah, he's scheduled to be here, but I don't think the criteria of a public park just quite meets it. So we'll have to look at. We didn't want to look too far ahead, so obviously now we'll get our heads together and see, you know where we can play it. Hopefully, maybe Boundary Park with Oldham, or you know, wherever. But I'm sure it'll be a great day out for everybody involved at Waterhead.
And that's another thing, isn't it? This is another really big moment for the town of Oldham. You represent Oldham, you're Waterhead, and that's your identity. But great for the town. You've got a really up and coming Oldham, you know, club where, you know, there's a lot of money going in there, and a lot of interest being generated by that. And you're doing really good things, and likewise Oldham St Anne's as well.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, obviously, what the Roughyheads are doing this year, you know, a bit of a resurgence. So, you know, we know, I think they play Wigan tomorrow, so there'll be a few going down watching that. It was quite ironic, really, that Marcus Keane scored the winning try. He's actually signed dual reg at Oldham this year. He come up from our 18s, and he was playing for us today, but he's obviously dual reg with Oldham. So yeah, it's the time's on the up at the moment. So you know, and the massive crowd here today, which is great in it for community rugby league.
Brilliant. Enjoy the celebrations. I'm sure they'll go on, and I'm sure you'll be having a couple of celebratory ones with your team and your opponents as well, because that's also what it's about at this level, isn't it?
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, great set of lads, Leigh Miners, and yeah, we'll have a pint together after. Yeah, thank you very much.
You've earned it, mate. All the best. So there we go. We have our first round on the BBC boxed off, and it went all the way to Golden Point, Danica Prim.
We expect nothing else when you and I partnered up together, Matt. What a game, what a start to the season, what a start to the Challenge Cup round one. Credit to both teams, they absolutely battled it out. They were head-to-head straight from the off. You know, yo-yoing from side to side, they both gave a bit of biff, they both put their bodies on the line. What a great start to the Challenge Cup, and congratulations Waterhead just to edge it at the end there.
Absolutely. Waterhead then victorious over Leigh Miners Rangers at Waterhead Park. They go on to round two. Both these sides putting on a great exhibition for the National Conference League, which will kick off in March. So these two clubs have plenty to go at this season, regardless of where they end up in the Challenge Cup. And as far as the Challenge Cup is concerned, there'll be games on the BBC all the way through to Wembley in June, and we will be back for round two very soon. But from all of us from the coverage from Waterhead Park this afternoon, it's goodbye. Special atmosphere for one of the great occasions of any rugby league season. He's got the strength, he's got the speed, Prince dazzling in this wonderful, most famous and historic of competitions.